I used to have a Scuff, and it's more comfortable, but I don't need the Scuff.
Keyboard on one hand and in one hand, Scuff in another controller or another hand.
You know, people do have like controller and then mouse.
That to me,
I knew somebody that did that, and they were good.
They were goated.
They were goated.
Wow, I don't know. I feel like that's a little too much for me. Like, just give me a controller and I'll call it a day. Yeah. Gaming on a keyboard is just not my speed. Yeah.
And it was
for some people.
This was 2013. This person was doing this.
Was it somebody we went to school?
No.
Some random. I
used to work with him.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of video games are crushing it at the box office, but should they be crushing it at the box office?
They should. Maybe, I don't know. That's what we'll talk about.
We got to start over.
Start over.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the LeisureHub Podcast. We are your pod boys. The P-Pod boys.
The P-Pod.
Justin and Patricia. And you like Patricia?
I like that.
You're Patricia.
Patricia.
What's your last name?
Confidential.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe at the end of the podcast we'll talk about your last name. But thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of the LeisureHub Podcast. We've been a little absent lately. I mean, we've been posting reels and stuff like that in our absence, but we've had some life events come up.
Yes, we have.
I've been traveling. Pedro's been traveling. He's been to Singapore. He's been to Japan, Korea.
Amen.
Australia.
Amen, bro. Speak it into existence, because that shit has not been happening.
You're like, I want to go, but maybe some other. I mean, it's kind of hard with kids though. You can still do it, but it's kind of hard. It's harder with kids.
Yeah, I can't wait till they're like, 5, 6, 7.
Kick them out.
I will take them out. I think I will travel with kids.
Kick them out.
Oh no, that's why. Kick them out. All right. At the door. Now
bro,
you didn't have to wait till they are 18.
No, be a real adult. Be like, you know what? Be a man. Tell your kids to go fend for themselves at the age of 5 and 2. Serena's not 5 yet.
No,
she's 4.
You're gonna be 5 this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, you're old.
You're old.
Thanks for the reminder.
Just like a year. Deep breath.
Yeah.
You tired, bro?
Are you tired?
I'm good.
I'm tired of you.
Damn, bro, for real?
I can never be tired of you, P.
Damn, bro, for real?
Tired of you or not tired of you?
I don't know, whatever you want.
It's whatever you want, man. That's you control your own fate. All right, so let's just jump straight into this, my guy. Actually, I want to ask you a cool question before we start. Should Australia be burnt off this planet? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
I need it, bro. All the animals live in there. Plus, they got the Great Barrier Reef, right?
Geography
near there.
Not my strong suit. I mean, it kind of is, but
kangaroos, koalas.
We got kangaroos here.
Do we? Probably
in captivity.
Yeah.
In a zoo.
Yeah. Hell no, not Australia. Australia is one of them places where I would be scared to visit, but I would love to just like be there, but not be able to get hurt.
Oh no. I would burn Australia.
What was that?
I don't know. It was my attempt at an Australian accent.
Okay.
I'd burn it off the face of this planet.
Why?
Things are just way too big there. Shouldn't be that big.
I agree.
Why are things Godzilla size there?
Like what?
Spiders. Why are they so big?
I don't know.
Like
It's
literally,
Australia.
if you look at like some of the insects that are there, they're way bigger than anywhere else.
Yep.
It's why.
It's like
it doesn't need to be.
It's like the Animal Kingdom on steroids.
It is.
Yeah.
Which, look, personally, I don't need that in my life.
Australia.
It I don't need that in my life. It needs to go away.
Box jellyfish.
What?
The box jellyfish.
What is that? I mean, it's a jellyfish.
Isn't it like the most poisonous animal in the world?
I don't know, man.
Is it an animal?
See, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of I've seen a whole bunch of other stuff.
It's gonna be a good podcast episode.
Australia, traveling to Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outback.
I got a Outback Steakhouse. Yeah, we went to Outback. That would be a good bit. Yeah, we went to That would be a good bit. Let's save that for later. So I got now a real question, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about adaptations are trending right now, right? Like one of the biggest examples was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
It's like crushing it. After they changed or redesigned
The character.
Sonic,
Yeah.
like, and the first movie came out, it did way better than anybody was expecting it to do. So what are your favorite adaptations so far? And you can't say Sonic because I just said
like video games.
Video games that have been turned into movies. Of currently.
I would have to say currently.
Yeah,
I know,
current.
Wasn't Angelina Jolie a Tomb Raider at one point?
She was Tomb Raider, but that was in like the early 2000s. Because like I feel like the movies have gotten so much better now. Like game adaptations to movies have gotten so much better. Look at the first Mario Brothers movie. This movie that was made in the 90s, late 80s.
I know, but as a kid, I loved it, dude.
I never watched it.
As a kid, you gotta love it.
I never watched it.
You never watched it,
so I don't have feelings on it either, or on either way. But if I were to watch it now, I think it would suck ass.
I agree.
Know what I mean?
I agree. But I think like I can't lie to myself, my kid self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember loving that movie. It was I don't know, but I think last one I watched, I think it was Uncharted with Tom Holland.
With Tom Holland.
And my opinion is mid. I don't think it was. I mean, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was necessarily like crazy. Like I would like maybe the Witcher series or something like that. That crushed it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a movie. It was a series. So that doesn't count for our list.
Okay.
No, but I would say that definitely The Witcher did a lot better. Uncharted, I feel like it had it has potential to be a good movie. Like it's interesting. Like he's a treasure hunter, Tomb Raider, but he's a treasure hunter. Like the backstory between him and Sam and Sully and the adventures that they go on, and like I feel like they could have made it better than what it is. I think it was good, in all regards. I think if you're an Uncharted fan, you're gonna enjoy the movie regardless.
Tom Holland shouldn't have been in it.
Well, the thing is, they were supposed to portray him as a younger version of Nathan Drake, which I could see that. If you play Uncharted 3, like you play as a young version of Nate,
but he wasn't.
Or Uncharted 4, you play a young version of Nate, and then in Uncharted 3, you also play a young version of him as well.
But he wasn't in the movie.
No,
because he was doing grown Nate stuff.
Yeah, like already established.
Yeah,
I think this was like more like this is Nate. He's doing his first stuff, but they also introduced. I don't remember what the movie was like, what he was doing in the movie, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, they had the one scene from Uncharted 3 where he's falling. Yeah, that's
the only thing I remember.
That's Nathan Drake. That's probably in his like 30s at this point.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's not a young Drake anymore. That's like he's fairly established. So
it throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, like I just that's what I mean. Like the director or directing for it was kind of like if you wanted to do a younger Nate, you could have done that, but I feel like you kind of went too far in time with it. Like I don't feel like it was balanced in that regard. Yeah. You know what
I mean? I was trying to say, what's his name? Anyways, the guy who did Mario's voice,
the
Star-Lord.
Oh, Chris.
Is it Chris?
Oh my god, I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, I think he would have been a good Nathan Drake.
You think so?
Yes, he's quirky. He's funny. Like I think he could have been a good Nathan Drake. But Tom Holland. Chris Pratt. Yeah. Tom Holland to me would always be
Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man, like 17-year-old, type of, and that's just who he is.
Yeah, but it's because his stature is also small.
Yeah,
like he's a small boy. He's like me. I understand his pain. He wants to be something else, and people just project onto him the entire. I feel his pain. I get it.
Right, but the thing is, like, he's an actor.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that, like, let's say if you're Nathan Drake, like if you don't have the right stature to be Nathan Drake from the game, I don't think it would have been a good option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think he's a great actor regardless.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that.
I think he played the role very well, but I do see what you mean. It's kind of like when you see like Jim from The Office.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of just see him as Jim from The Office. Yeah. He's not a bad actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Like in A Quiet Place, it's just like I couldn't visually see him fully as anything but that. And I know that's kind of like the hard thing about playing one role for a very long time. Yeah. You just see that person as that, right? And it happens all the time. Why do you think there's so many adaptations right now? Like there's always been games that have turned into movies. Why do you think there's so many right now?
When we say so many, so we got Uncharted, and we're not counting series.
No, we'll count series. Like I mean, I think I was just
like The Last of Us. I don't know. I feel like video games are kind of in like plateau right now.
Why do you think that? I mean,
I don't know.
I agree with you.
You know,
I agree. Like I don't.
There has to be a crazy change. Either that or I don't know. There has to be a change.
But between the development time and the graphics, like I just feel like it's very it plateaued.
Yeah, and I feel like they're not. I don't feel like they're losing money, but I also don't feel like they're making money. So they're trying to find ways to make more money.
How do you feel about the Mario movie?
Maybe. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the first one. I think it was pretty good. I mean, they spent a long ass time making it.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. It was in production for a while.
That was Chris Pratt. Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Mario.
I mean, personally, I think they're making more of them now. Because now I think people finally found a way to monetize it as a movie or series. I think we're finally at this point between like you go back to COVID, right? COVID had a moment where a lot of people were bored, and so people found that gaming was a good alternative to spend their time. They couldn't hang out with friends, they couldn't see family, and they could barely go outside. Yeah. So they found an alternative, which was playing games. I mean, sales for the Nintendo Switch skyrocketed, and it skyrocketed. So like, more people than ever played games now than they ever have before. I mean, we talked about this on another podcast episode, but I made a post on Threads like over a year ago. But gaming has always been recognized as this like nerdy thing. It's always had a weird stigma of like you're a nerd if you play games. Like games are considered cool now, like trendy. I consider them trendy.
Yeah.
Now.
No, I agree. I feel like it's dying off a little bit from like COVID, but it's true. I agree.
Yeah, but nobody looks at you like nobody looks at you and like, oh, you have no life. You play video games.
Yeah.
Like that was like growing up for us and like for like I guess like people in the 80s, right? 80s, 90s. It's like they're like, oh, you go to the arcade and you play games like you're a nerd. Like you have no life. Like you're all you and your little friends are nerds. But like that stigma of being a nerd, like everybody plays games now. And there's like nothing weird about it. It's kind of like anime. Anime is becoming mainstream now where it's like you watch anime. I mean, there's some where you're still kind of like, that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? But and that's coming from an anime lover. Like I can understand that. Like there's some weirdness. Like there's some that are like, don't come into the room while I'm watching it because like you're gonna come and walk in while it's doing some weird thing. But you know what I mean or no? Like
doing some weird thing.
Yeah, Naruto has had some weird things happen, and you're like, maybe because they sexualize a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not that Hollywood and other media doesn't, but it's a cartoon that's also like that. So you're like, what are you? Yeah, it's like, what are you watching? But like I think particularly more people are into gaming now more than ever. So it's easier to get people hooked into like watching these movies or series. That at least that's my thought process behind it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
You can't.
Yeah, I can.
You can't even see bro. You don't even have your glasses on. You don't wear contacts, and you don't have your glasses on. How could you possibly even see that?
I can see.
What do I look like?
How would you know?
How would
you know? You look like Justin.
What does that look like? See, I'm trying to trap you. Do you think we're burnt out? Are you burnt out from these game to movie adaptations?
I don't think so.
Do you think we're getting there?
No.
No.
Burnout to me, I feel like it's Marvel right now. I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm burnt out of Marvel. But game adaptations, I don't think so. I think they could do a whole lot more.
Well, they have a whole bunch coming out.
Like imagine a Doom movie or a TV series. Oh man, that would hit.
How would that work as a protagonist who doesn't talk?
Huh?
How would that work with a protagonist that doesn't talk?
That's the challenge.
That's for them to figure out. Yeah. No shit.
That's the challenge. But that would be dope.
I mean, I think it would be cool. I think it would work better as an animated series though, not live action.
I can see
in my opinion. I mean, they could probably make it work as a live action.
It already has. Doom has already a live action adaptation with The Rock. The Rock was a
What?
Yeah.
Where have I been?
I don't know where you've been, bro. But
Are you talking about currently, recently?
No, this was back then.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were talking about currently. Then I was like, where have I been?
No, that was the Rock. Doom had I don't know.
Oh,
2000s maybe. The Rock.
Yeah, regardless, I don't think I knew about that in general.
And I don't think it was focused on the Doomslayer himself, but like rather than like the demons and stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah,
because like Doom is the.
I've heard some people liked it.
I mean,
I've never seen it, but
I'd have to watch it. I mean, I couldn't really say.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're not burnt out of it yet because there's just so many. Like I think, like I said earlier, with the gaming having like a bad stigma from the past, like I think there's people who wouldn't ordinarily play certain types of games, but like you turn it into a movie or a series, and the story itself, like it hits, right?
Yeah.
Like God of War in itself, I can't imagine a lot of people being interested. Like, and when I say a lot of people, I mean people who don't normally play games. Like, for somebody, if you're trying to recommend a game to somebody, and a game to somebody, who's never really played games, and they're not your typical gamer like you or I, would you suggest God of War still?
Yeah.
Why?
Because easy.
I mean, it is easy, but it's also about the story, and it's like, well, are they going to be interested in this story? Like, is the casual like gamer who's getting started and playing games who kind of likes games? I don't think I would recommend God of War to them.
What? I think so too, because I feel like The Last of Us is a good one. All these Hollywood inspired games, I feel like they would be a good beginner. Now, I wouldn't recommend like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or I wouldn't recommend Diablo, because it's RPG. It's more immersed. With God of War, you have some of those elements, but it's not as extensive and expansive as these.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. Well, here's where we talk about the good, the bad, and the iconic. Right. So we talked about a little bit about some of the other live actions or series that, you know, have either been good or at least ones that we've thought about. So I'm gonna run through a list really quick. And some of these we kind of already like touched base on. But so The Last of Us, fire. Like I think it was well executed. Like and that's kind of what I prefer recreations or movie/series adaptations doing. I don't think you should be going so far off of the basis, the source material, that it's almost a completely different show or movie. Like I feel like if you do that, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because you have fans who love the original IP. So then you're you're kind of altering it. Like you're taking a huge gamble on like your creative freedom to change it. Where, you know, with Last of Us, people loved it because the story in general is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So like even like significant others, like people who aren't interested in playing games loved watching that show.
Why do you think that is?
It's the story. I think it's about the story.
And now
it's the emotional depth. It's the emotional like impact that it has, the connecting to the characters. They're relatable. And it's just in general the story.
Do you don't think it's also the zombie aspect of it? Like you see The Walking Dead.
I mean, yes,
but DayZ.
Yes, but I feel like
it's more welcoming. Like it is a video game, but it's also more welcoming in the movie area. That could also contribute to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the clickers and the fungal infection is different enough from zombies.
I agree
that it's unique.
It's unique.
Like they look different, and you're like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's still people still are like, oh, it's zombie-esque, but like it's different enough that it keeps people intrigued.
Like it's not The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
this clearly stands alone.
Yeah. And like the main difference between like The Walking Dead and The Last of Us is like it's just like it's a man who doesn't want this girl.
Yeah, it's a story,
right? And ends up becoming like a father figure for this girl, and she doesn't want him either. But they learn to coexist with each other and blah blah blah. And obviously, if you haven't watched the ending of the movie, go watch series. Go watch it. But like, what he does at the end, like I get it, but it's really messed up that he kind of. Actually, I don't think I've ever talked to you about the ending of The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about what Joel did at the end? We'll throw up a spoiler alert right here. How do you feel about what Joel did at the end of Last of Us?
I think he did the right thing, but I think I think he did the right thing.
It's kind of selfish, though, right?
Huh?
Selfish, right?
Yeah, but can you blame selfishness when this is all you know?
Do you mean like the world that you live in, or?
Yeah, like this is all you know. Like look at what Joe has been. Oh my God, look at what Joe has been through. We could and you know, losing a child, and now kind of like encountering that possibility again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a very selfish move, but now on Ellie's end, it's a whole different story.
Like I feel like part of that has to do with a lack of acceptance. Mm-hmm. Joel's lack of acceptance. He never truly ever forgave himself or moved on from losing his daughter.
Yeah. Which
is why when he rekindled a connection like that with Ellie, he couldn't let her go. I mean, then again, like, why would you? Like, if you started rekindling a relationship with somebody else, like, why would you want to let them go?
Yeah.
But, like, if you love something, set it free.
Yeah, I think
that's hard. I think he chose the easy route, personally. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think personally I would have done the same exact thing.
But what about Ellie's immaturity?
Like her response to
So Ellie was like what, 14, 13-year-old girl?
Yeah.
She doesn't know anything about the world. Anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't didn't they tell him it was a possibility that it's gonna
they could find a cure?
Yeah. It wasn't for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a possibility, but she'll probably die.
Yeah.
That's to me.
Well, she would die. Like they have to harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would be like, I support Joel.
Yeah. If you're basically saying like if it wasn't guaranteed that this was going to save humanity,
yeah,
I'm not going to even bother.
I'm not sacrificing my relationship, like my daughter.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
For the good, and that's the thing. That's going to be a big sacrifice. Imagine. That's like the whole scenario of like, you know, if the whole train was going to come and you have to save your son or save a whole bunch of people.
I thought you were going to say save one and kill 1,000.
Yeah.
Or kill 1,000 or save 1,000 and kill one.
But imagine if that, exactly. But imagine if that one was your son.
That's the thing. You kind of have to for the greater good. You give up your son.
Exactly.
And that's the hard choice. That's the difficult choice. Like the easy choice is obviously you save your son, like, because that's like what you want.
I agree.
You know, that's the easy choice.
Yep.
The hard choice is sacrificing your son to save other people or daughter for other people. That's the hard part. But and to be honest, I would have chose to save Ellie.
But if it wasn't, you don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, imagine giving up everything that you have for it didn't turn out.
Yeah.
I couldn't live with that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
It didn't turn out. Next.
Yeah. Well, I guess I gotta find a new one. You know.
Yep.
That's the second daughter I lost.
Yeah.
Arcane. Have you heard of Arcane?
Studios?
No.
Oh.
No.
Arcane.
It's based off of League of Legends, I think.
No.
It's a Netflix series. It's a Netflix. I don't play, but I watched the Netflix series. So good.
Oh.
It's so good. I would have never imagined that they could turn. It's similar in the regards of I'm pretty sure it's League of Legends, but it's similar in the sense of like Diablo. It's like that type of play style.
Okay.
For League of Legends, and like if you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it.
Bro. That was nasty. Nah, you have to keep that, bro.
I'm not keeping that shit in.
You have to keep that. Why not? It's a sneeze, bro.
Yeah, it's a sneeze. I don't want that in there. Bobby Scheid. Oh my god,
my dude.
But it's Arcane's a really, 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 really good series. And I recommend that anybody go check it out. I mean, I can't really talk about it with you because you haven't watched it, but I highly recommend you go on Netflix and you go check it out. It's definitely another good series to watch. Game adaptation turned into movie. So,
all right.
Just saying.
I have to put it on my list.
Yeah,
backlog list.
It's League of Legends is what the game is based off. I had to make sure. I'm a gamer. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I just had to make sure. I didn't want to be made fun of. Here's another one, another anime or animated series.
What?
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
I haven't heard of that either.
What? Dude, you don't do anything in your spare time.
No, I don't.
You just eat, sleep.
Eat. Did you mention eat?
I said eat. I mean, I guess you eat 3 times a day, right?
About 6.
Oh.
Oh.
That's why you have that stain on your shirt.
No, not gonna happen.
All right. Well, Cyberpunk Edge Runners is exactly what you think. It's an anime like animation that's made based off of Cyberpunk. I think it has like the whole world of Cyberpunk.
Just tough.
Oh, dude,
tough.
It's so good. Like the ending.
Is it ongoing or they're done? What are you doing?
I think they're gonna make a season 2.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but the season 1, I feel like that one would be more manageable for you to watch, because it's only 1 season.
What are you trying to say?
You don't have a lot of time,
bro. TV.
And your attention span is terrible.
True.
You know how long it took us to start this podcast? Because you wanted to sit there and twiddle your twat.
What does that mean?
So Fallout was another good one too.
I've never seen that either.
Yes, you have.
No.
I mean, you've heard of it.
I heard of it.
Yeah, but it did really well. Like, I think it had some pacing issues at some points. Like, it was kind of like it took a little bit to bring who it needed to bring together. But when it did, that's when it kind of really took off.
Yeah, I heard really good things about it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think I would recommend it. Obviously, it was on Amazon. I know Amazon has other things on its lists, in its catalog that people watch, but like I feel like, I guess Netflix and Hulu and pretty much every other streaming platform are about the same, where like you have your hits, and then you don't have anything for like several months, and then you have another one, and then it's gone. Or maybe you have a couple. You have like 2 or 3 that people watch, and then it kind of dies off again. but that was their biggest hit. I mean, you have The Boys.
The Boys? That's
yeah.
That's not a game though, right?
No, it's not a game. It's a Amazon series though.
Yeah.
Um,
the Halo series. I feel like I've seen a lot of clips of those. I think that's Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched it. I like Halo. I haven't really like gone out of my way to watch the series. There's just too many different streaming platforms. Like, why am I gonna go and pay money for multiple of those? Like, I have Netflix and Amazon because obviously you pay for Amazon Prime, you get Amazon part of that as well. So, so now we're gonna it's kind of a little bit of the bad, right? And you might be like, well,
of course,
it's good.
That's just
because you love opposing. Like that's
I don't know why, man. That's bad.
You're the devil's advocate.
That's bad.
Yeah, you are a bad person.
Yeah.
The Resident Evil movies. I mean, the early Resident Evil movies. Those are bad. They're bad, bro. They're so bad. Like at the time, being a kid watching it, like.
I had a great time.
You
bro.
had a great time. Had a great time.
Yeah.
But then you play the games because like, I never played any of the Resident Evil games as a kid until like recently, as I've been like, you know, when they started remastering or remaking a lot of them for PS4, PS5, Xbox, etc. So I never really had the opportunity to play them in the past. Now that I'm playing, I reflect back on the Resident Evil movies that they made. And I'm like, what is this? Like the only thing that they had that was Resident Evil-esque was that it was the Umbrella Corp.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, and then who is this lady? Who is she supposed to be? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, man. It just seemed kind of, it's kind of like, it goes back to the early 2000 movies, you know, game adaptations where they wouldn't really follow the story. They would just it's like Resident Evil, great idea. Let's just like put our own spin on it, and they would make it.
Yeah,
it's like that's not how that works. You can't just do that. Like, and it's gonna be good.
That's how it used to happen.
Yeah. They made a couple of those Resident Evil movies.
I think they did.
They made what, like 3?
I'm confusing them with like Underworld.
What is that?
Have you seen Underworld?
No. What is that?
I think it's Underworld. I might be tripping, bro. Let me check.
Bro, they made so many. Guess how many they made? Guess how many Resident
5.
Evil? 6.
I was close.
There was Resident Evil in 2002. I remember that one. They had Resident Evil Apocalypse. I think I only watched the first one, and then maybe the one in 2016. There was one in 2016, like almost 10 years ago, which same person too. Same actress.
It was a lady, right?
Yeah. It was, so there's Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction, Resident Evil Afterlife, Resident Evil Retribution, and Resident Evil the final chapter.
So it's just an adaptation.
Yeah, it's an adaptation, but it was a terrible adaptation. I mean, hey, if you liked the Resident Evil adaptations, drop it in the comment section below.
I never seen it. I'm thinking of Underworld.
What is Underworld? You still never told me what that is.
Underworld is like the vampire with like the werewolves. You never seen those?
I don't think I watched this.
Oh, they're badass.
Wow.
They're good movies.
Bro, the font looks exactly the same as Resident Evil.
That's why I'm confusing them, but bro, I love these movies, bro. Growing up.
Yeah, I never watched this, bro. Yeah. This is like Resident Evil meets Batman meets.
Gives me like Van Helsing vibes, you know.
What is that?
Next point, bro.
I'm not joking. I'm being dead ass.
Look Van Helsing, bro.
Oh, okay.
Look at Van Helsing, bro.
I don't want to. What is it? What is it called?
Van Helsing. Van Helsing.
Oh.
I know you've heard of him, bro.
How upset would you be if I haven't heard of him?
I mean, I can't be upset.
They're making a new one, 2025? You excited for that?
I mean,
you're like, I had no idea it existed.
It's not like I'm crazy about, but I would watch it. Yes.
Hugh Jackman is gonna be he's gonna play the main character. That's pretty dope. That's gonna be tough. Hugh Jackman's he's the man. He's the guy. He's goated for show. Goated. How do you feel about the Silent Hill movies? I know you probably never watched it.
Never.
But they were not good.
They were not good?
No, they weren't good.
What were you looking at?
But like, again, this also falls into the same category, at least for me, when it comes to like, I never played the original Silent Hill. Do you see that?
What?
Bro, I swear something just darted right across.
No. You want to see a picture later? That sounded. I'm gonna show you a picture, bro.
Cut it.
All right, cut it.
Well, now you got to give context. Because
no.
You got to give context.
No, I can't, bro. I saw like it was like I'm like paranormal type stuff.
Like a UFO.
At my crib, bro.
Like a UFO.
I'm gonna have to show you a UFO.
It's paranormal.
Is it? Who deems that?
Who deems that it's paranormal?
Yeah,
the Pod Boys do.
Okay.
We report on everything.
What?
Alien watching hobbies, bro.
Alien watching hobbies?
Or like alien hunting, like hunting for aliens. Like that's a whole hobby. People do that. They go they go hunting for paranormal. If you go, people go hunting for paranormal activity. People go hunting for aliens.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong.
If you hunt aliens or paranormal activity, drop in the comment section below, please.
You know what? This might be a chance to do a collab episode because I definitely want to talk about that.
I would love to talk to somebody who knows a lot about paranormal, or not. Maybe not paranormal activity, or
because like into hunting and stuff like
that. Yeah. Like deer hunting or like alien hunting.
Deer hunting, bro. That's normal as hell. That's
Yo, what if there's people that hunt? They hunt down balloons.
I bet you there are people that do.
If we've learned anything about hobbies, any hobby that you can make up right now, I guarantee you, it's probably some version.
It's an Olympic sport.
It's an Olympic sport, yeah. Silent Hill movies, not great. But what I was saying is like playing the new Silent Hill game, or like the remake of the Silent Hill game, and then comparing that to the movie, vastly different. Vastly different. Like that story that you play in like on the remake of Silent Hill, it's very like demonic? I wouldn't. No, not demonic. I wouldn't say it's it is a psychological thriller, because like it's more based on like there's a lot of theories on like what's actually happening in the game. Like I haven't really watched a lot of videos, so I don't really understand the story. There's 8 different endings in the game. 8. Okay. 8.
That's it.
8. Normally there's like 2 in most games. But there's so many different endings, so I'm thinking there's a lot of theories out there. Like I would have to do some research on those. But I feel like it could be a really good series / movie. I would say more of a series, because a series you get to spend more time developing it. Like you could do 3 seasons. You can really flesh it out. You have 3 seasons, and each one of those is like about 8 to 10 episodes.
Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say 3 seasons, but I would say like maybe 2 seasons. You split it in half.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I agree. And like, I feel like video games, Silent Hill, The Last of Us, anything that has to do with, like you said earlier, zombie-esque. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily zombies, but
Silent Hill is weird.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Weird.
But that's the kind of stuff, because when you're gaming, when you're playing those games, like you see a lot of different character models. Yeah. Usually in like zombie shows, zombies are basically the same. But in the games, it's like every level or every checkpoint, basically,
you get something new.
It's not. Yeah, there's a new type of zombie. There's a new type of creature.
Yeah,
which makes it different from like. And
there was like a zombie with a mohawk. That's how crazy they got.
Yeah,
like that's ordinary.
Wow. But you know, like with The Last of Us, you can get real creative. Like,
yeah, that's true. Because you can make them like create. I mean, The Last of Us Part 2, they got really they changed it up a lot, especially with the spoiler alert again. They the one part where Ellie goes into like
he has like a whole bunch of arms sticking out. And
massive.
Stuff. Yeah,
bro. That part alone freaked me out. Like when I was playing, I was like, "This is terrible. Like, get me out of here."
Yeah,
you know. And we mentioned this one earlier before when we first started this podcast, but the Super Mario Brothers movie in 1993 versus the Super Mario Brothers movie of 2023.
Yeah.
If I give up one of those.
1993.
I give up the 2023 movie. 2023 terrible.
Bro. Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, bro. I took you seriously for like a second.
I can't seriously sit here and say I would choose the 1993 Super Smash Brothers movie over the current one that they just made. The animation was splendid.
That was nice.
Was splendid. How did you like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong as DK?
Perfect.
Yeah, you thought he fit the character well?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of Seth Rogen, bro.
Yeah, but like why?
Because they go really well together.
Do you think I would have done well playing it?
What?
I'm just asking. Do you think I could do a role like that?
Nah, bro.
What about like people like me?
I don't think so, bro. Because like people like you know,
You're one of a kind.
they don't
right?
have a Seth Rogen voice. That's what I know.
Do
that again?
No. Yeah. His laugh is so iconic though. It's so funny.
But
yeah.
I
think some movies, some series game adaptations to movies / series have fallen flat, while others have risen the ranks.
Like Mario.
Oh, 100% like Mario, Last of Us. Yeah.
Mario could turn into like a whole Avengers thing. I don't know if you heard about that, seen it, but like there's like
Nintendo's going for the long run
like
here.
Zelda, you know, they're trying to make and then try and merge it at the end, kind of like Marvel's doing the Super Smash movie.
Oh, that would
you
be
didn't
dope.
see that?
No,
bro. There's like there's bad rumors going around with like their upcoming kind of like phase 1, phase 2.
At this rate, it would take them forever to do that though, because they took forever to make Mario. Like they're working on the Legend of Zelda though, right? That's
I don't know, but I seen the whole what they got like. But
how many do you think they would make? Because there's a lot of Super Smash Brothers characters.
They will probably stick to like the original Nintendo 64 roster. Because you got Zelda, you got Mario, obviously, Pokemon, and you already have Pokemon.
Yeah, they Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
that's the only one that they made, right?
Yeah, and that was included in the whole. There's like an infographic that I saw. Yeah. It would be dope.
I mean, if they could pull it off, my biggest issue is that they'll take a while to make it because they
Sonic.
Yeah, I guess that would be cool. The Sonic and Mario Olympics.
That would be dope.
Yeah, bro.
That would be dope.
That crossover would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Super Smash would make sense too.
But like short term wise, I think that crossover would make a lot of sense.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Big facts. Personally, I think fans expect their when you're making a movie or series from a game, I think fans have very high expectations. I mean, I know I personally have high expectations for Last of Us Part 2. Like, I know they said they weren't going to follow it verbatim like they did with Part 1, but I just think that if you're having something you're having a retelling of a story that you really liked, like God of War, for example, because they're working on a God of War and they're working on a Horizon Zero Dawn one.
I did not know about.
You didn't know that one? I don't know how far in
hyped.
development they are into that one, but they're working on both of those. Sony.
That would be like they should work with the Transformer team. Because
how would that even work? Oh, you're talking about production
for machines.
Oh, okay.
To animate the machines because bro, the Transformers
locked in.
Like
they're good. They're good. Like the detail.
To this day.
Yeah. Personally, I think like the animation in that is kind of better than some Marvel cinema movies. Did you watch A Brave New World yet? Captain America. Personally, the Hulk CGI that they did in the first Avengers movie, I thought was better than the current stuff that they're doing. It didn't seem as fake. Now it just seems so burnt out. You can tell.
Burnt out, bro. I'm burnt out.
I mean, I'm burnt out too.
That's what I mean.
But you know what I mean, though. Fans want their favorite game to be accurately conveyed in a retelling. Like anytime it's changed too much, that is, the people are like, "This is terrible. This is the worst thing ever." What were you gonna say?
No, I'm saying like, or it could also be the opposite. Like fans, like and the reason why I say the opposite is because I enjoyed the Assassin's Creed movie, but that's because I like the game, so I want to like the movie. But I enjoyed it. A lot of people did not like it.
I didn't even know they had an Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah, they have. I think they have 2 Assassin's Creed movies.
Do they?
Back, it's a prequel to Assassin's Creed 2, and they have the newest one with like Aguilar. That's his name. I have this Funko Pop.
What is that? I don't even know who that is.
That's it's completely different assassin from any of the games.
Oh, is it like the smaller versions that they made, like the smaller Assassin's Creed games that they did one in China?
No, it's completely different. It's a completely different assassin. It's like it's like a own game, but different.
Oh, okay. See, I think
it's in Spain. Yeah, Spain.
That's Ezio's cousin.
Maybe. Maybe.
Personally, I think like if you're going to make an game adaptation to a movie, you have to. We mentioned this earlier. You have to stay true to the source material.
It would be Desmond. If they kept Desmond, it would be dope. And Ezio.
Yeah, I feel like if you're changing too much of like what the core of it, that's like if you made the Mario movie, but you changed his hat color.
Oh no, that's unforgivable.
It's like, why would you do that?
That's unforgivable.
It's like that's something that people are obviously gonna like point out. It's like, or like, oh, Bowser's name isn't Bowser anymore, it's Boozer.
Yeah.
It's like what I feel like companies are starting to understand what fans want in their movie game adaptation now.
Yeah. This is good.
Yeah. What are some games that you want what are some games that shouldn't be remade? Or if you have some
remade?
Remade or shouldn't be remade or remade into like movies.
Into a movie.
Yeah. Or what should be turned into a live action / series? So you can give one example for both sides.
I would say Uncharted. I feel like if Uncharted is clearly inspired by the Indiana Jones movie.
Also, side note, we didn't talk about Borderlands.
Oh yeah, I don't have much to. I mean, I
have seen reviews and I saw the trailer and it looked terrible.
Did it? I have to see
it did really bad. We talked about it with Derek one time.
Did we? I have to see it.
Yeah, but anyway, what were we saying?
I was saying Indiana Jones, like Uncharted, is basically inspired from Indiana Jones.
So is Tomb Raider.
Huh?
So is Tomb Raider.
Nah, bro. Have you seen the Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
It's Nathan Drake, bro.
Yeah. Without a whip. Well, he has the grapple in the fourth game. But.
It's very, very much like Nathan Drake. But anyways, I don't know.
So you're saying Uncharted shouldn't have been remade into a movie?
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think Indiana Jones is a better adaptation than the movie that came out.
So, okay. Do you think Nathan, like the story of Uncharted 1 through 4, do you think that's a good story?
1 through 4?
Yeah, all of it.
I don't think it's necessarily the greatest story. 4 was a good, like, really, they got more into it.
Yeah.
right? But that's because it's more kind of like Hollywood integrated.
Sure.
The last ones were more
gamey.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So, but I wouldn't consider it like crazy story.
Yeah. So what games shouldn't be remade? Like if
games shouldn't be remade.
What game can you think of that shouldn't be remade into a movie or series?
I think Mortal Kombat. Just leave it as a game.
They did that already. They did that recently.
I know. I enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
just leave it as a game.
Yeah.
I think because I feel like as a fan, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't know if they'll ever give what we really want.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't truly know what we really want, you know.
Yeah.
But like Sub-Zero and Mortal Kombat, the game is gonna be top.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could ever recreate that in a movie. You would think it would be like easy. You would think it would be like almost obvious.
Yeah. But they've made so many Marvel movies, or not Marvel movies, my God, Mortal Kombat movies in the past, and they've all been dog shit.
Yeah.
They've all been bad.
And because the main thing of the game is fighting.
Yeah. I mean, and you kind of see it in the game itself too. Like the game, the story in Mortal Kombat, like the games, they're terrible. Like I'm harsh when I say terrible, but like they're not breaking story grounds here. They're not like, oh my God, you should play Alan Wake 2 story. Like, you know what I mean? It's not to that caliber. It's, I don't know. How do you feel about the Mortal Kombat story universe in general? They reset it twice now?
I'm not sure. I know Mortal Kombat 1 was like a full reboot.
Yeah. Stop.
I have to. I don't know.
Okay. So what game should be turned into a live service or live action or series? Personally, I know this isn't a game, but it is a TV show. It's an anime. I don't think it should ever be touched into making a live action version of it ever again as Dragon Ball Z. Don't do it ever again. Stop.
No, I don't think.
Stop.
You can't.
It's good as a game, and it's good as an anime. Don't ever touch it and make. They did it once, and it was awful. It's awful.
You can't get the hair right.
You can't get the hair right. It's just like the fighting. I don't know. It's yeah. I just don't understand how you can make it look.
And if you do get the hair right, it's not gonna look right.
No. I mean, look at Piccolo. They made One Piece. They did that very well, and I was very impressed in how well they did that. But most live action adaptations from anime don't really translate that well. Yu Yu Hakusho. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah, I heard of that one. I've never seen it.
I watched the series. I don't think it was like the worst thing ever, but it definitely wasn't like my favorite live action adaptation ever. So I just think it was just. It's just like, I don't know how to, like the effects. It was very low budget because obviously they're not going to spend a lot of money on it compared to like One Piece. One Piece had a lot of money spent, or they had a very big budget. Yu Yu Hakusho didn't have quite the same budget, so the effects weren't all that great. But also the story was kind of like convoluted a little bit. So, that's just my opinion.
That's your opinion.
I personally, I don't know. I mean, I'll just say this. How do you feel about a Bloodborne series / movie? or any Dark Souls?
Yeah, in order for them to be good, the animation's gotta be like crazy. Like for example, if they're making a Bloodborne movie, they better not emphasize the hunter.
Why? That's like the whole focal point.
No, it's not. It's the bosses.
Well, yeah, it's you fighting the boss.
Yeah, exactly. But without the animation of the boss itself, that is like that either makes the show or breaks it.
The creator of One Piece, Oda, he was interviewed and he was asked why is now the appropriate time for you to make the live action series for One Piece, and he said because of the technology that we had to create like the CGI that we had like 10 years ago, it wouldn't have worked. Like, because like the technology that we have now to create One Piece is so much better. I think now is the right time to make it, and I think that's the biggest hurdle with a lot of these game adaptations. Like, I think Alan Wake 2, I think that would work great as a series. But I think when you start getting into like these very like tougher things to make, like I see your point with Transformers and Horizon, but I feel like it would still be kind of a struggle for them to make it work. Like, I think it has to have a really big budget in order for them to make it look believable. Marvel has tons of money and they still struggle with some CGI.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I don't think it's going to be good if it's not like that.
What do you mean? Like what?
Like, if you're not spending that much money on the animation and the CGI,
yeah.
I don't think you're going to have a good movie.
Yeah, I think you just shouldn't make it at that point. If you're
not
going to put a lot of money into it, then I wouldn't even.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't even invest.
People are just you're going to watch it for the story.
Yeah.
But people game for most of the time for like the gameplay and graphics and how everything looks.
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't know.
I don't think any karting, like Mario Kart, Sonic Kart, I don't think any of those should be made into a full-on movie.
Yeah, I say you said full-on because they kind of integrated it into the Mario movie.
Well, yeah, but it's also like, it's purely about racing. Like,
unless they make like a Fast and the Furious kind of.
Fast and Furious is garbage. I don't care who hates me for that. But I think all the Fast and Furious movies are terrible. The only ones that aren't bad, and maybe I'm just biased, are like the Tokyo Drift with Paul Rudd, like the like 1 through 3. Those were good.
I agree.
Everything after that, Fast and Furious, terrible. Like it went from being about cars, like, and racing to explosions. I'm a secret agent. I'm like taking down this organization. Like, what is that? Like, that's not. Sorry, that's a whole nother rant.
It's true though.
I think it's dumb. I think it's so dumb. But yeah, I think it's dumb. So now that kind of brings us to the final question, right?
Yeah.
The future of games and show business. Have they finally cracked the code to making game to movie adaptations good? Have they finally cracked the code, Pedro? Have you cracked the code? I think they're on the right track, personally. I think they're doing okay. I say compare it to the 80s, 90s to early 80s to early 2000s to current. Like, obviously they're better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's why I say, like, I feel like they're starting to understand how to turn these into actual, like, money machines, but also good storytelling movies that people want to watch.
I think that's what they got to focus on, storytelling.
I thought you were saying the money part.
No, the storytelling too.
Yeah.
Because, like, and I might be contradicting myself here. Like, yeah, the animation is good. It has to be good, but the story has to be 10,000 times better.
Like, you have to be sucked into the story.
Yeah, because and let's be honest, a lot of these games, their story is very predictable.
Like what?
You know,
like
most games, the stories are predictable. Like, for example, you take Assassin's Creed or something. Like, the story, the story is nice, especially the most recent Assassin's Creed, but the gameplay is what people mainly play it for. It's like the stealth or whatever, going hard, whatever. But if you translate that into a movie, I don't think it's going to be good. Why? Because the foundation is still not there, which is the story. In order to have a good movie, you're going to need a good story. And if you don't want it to fall into the mediocrity of like other movies, right? Then that story better be good as hell.
Well, then let's go back to the Mario movie, because technically Mario doesn't really have much of a story. But they did pretty well with that. They turned it into like an actual.
True, but it's also like more of a kids movie.
You know what live action, or not a live action, but you know what movie would do well that's similar to Super Mario?
What?
Kirby.
Yeah,
Kirby would do very well. And you know why? Because it had TV animation or TV shows back in the day. Like it was on I can't remember what TV channel it was on. Maybe like W Kids 4B, whatever that show TV channel was. They had an early TV show adaptation for Kirby. And like they have a lot of source material for it already. And Mario had that as well. Like they had a TV show. You remember that?
Yes.
So I think they kind of had some type of basis to go off of from the past.
Yeah, and these are like kids too. Like there's cartoons.
Yeah.
So like with cartoons comes merchandise.
Well, merch is the biggest selling part.
Exactly. You won't have that with The Last of Us.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I was about like Mario and The Last of Us, merchant wise, like
vastly different.
Mario's gonna sell more, especially with kids.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, I think Kirby could definitely crush it. I think, like I said, I think they are starting to crack the code of what makes a good game into a movie. I think if they tried to redo Resident Evil or even Silent Hill, I think those would crush it now, because I think they have an idea of how to pivot those, take those stories and actually make them interesting. Especially Resident Evil Village. Like, well, it would be Resident Evil 7 to Resident Evil Village. Like you could easily take that, because now not only do you have Ethan who's trying to find his wife in 7, but then you have the second, or Resident Evil Village, who now he's trying to find his daughter. So you could easily make that into season 1. He's trying to find his wife. Season 2, tries to find his daughter. Season 3, or you can do a spinoff of it's just his daughter, because it ends. Spoiler alert again. He dies, and she kind of like becomes a new focal point for after Resident Evil 7. So, and then they had a DLC for her. So you could easily do season 1 through 2, him, wife, him, daughter, and then spin off of just her. Yeah. Which would be dope.
That would be dope. Yeah. I would watch that.
Are there any other upcoming adaptations that we haven't mentioned? I mean, we mentioned a bunch of them, but I want to make sure we cover any additional adaptations.
I don't think so.
They're doing another Mortal Kombat 2. They're doing another Mortal Kombat.
Are they?
Oh, that's right. They're doing a Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Oh, they're doing Until Dawn. I did see that. Until Dawn's the it's the one with like a group of kids, and then you can kind of what's it? It's like a, oh my God. What's it when you have it's like a quick time event? You know what I mean?
A quick time event.
You know, you have a character, you kind of move them around, but certain things happen. You get to decide whether they live or die based on like your actions in the game.
Kind of like Detroit Become Human.
Similar to that. Yeah. Until Dawn is a game that's heavily like that.
Okay.
But it's like slasher-esque. Like one of the kids ends up is an actual killer. Look it up when you get the chance.
All right.
But I think that's all of the upcoming ones that we've talked about them. Five Nights at Freddy. Oh, the Minecraft movie. I forgot about that.
Oh, I heard about that.
I don't think. Do you think it's gonna be good?
The story's got to be good.
I don't know how they're
actually. I think it's gonna be good.
I have no idea how they're gonna make it work, because Minecraft doesn't have a story. The story is what you make it.
Kids, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's gonna be. I think
Fortnite has more of a story than Minecraft does.
But I think it'll be easy to make up a story with Minecraft, because kids are gonna go crazy.
Jason Momoa was in this. What the hell? Damn. Until Dawn, Mortal Kombat 2, Five Nights at Freddy's. They're doing a Street Fighter movie. That's the same thing as Mortal Kombat in terms of like making the movie. Like it has to have a good story.
Yeah.
It's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make a Tekken movie." Which I think they have made. They did make a Tekken movie.
Did they?
I'm almost like 90% sure. Yeah, they did.
Are you serious?
They made one in 2010. Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember this.
I remember it. It's it got a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Apparently 65% of users like that. But I do remember watching the movie. I didn't think it was all that great, but maybe that's just me. Then you have the second Mario movie, Horizon Zero Dawn, like I mentioned earlier before.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2. I did hear about that one.
That's getting a movie.
Yeah, I don't.
That would be a good movie.
It'd be cool. Because you know what? It would be like a Halo Fallout type of thing.
That would be a good movie. Yeah.
It'd be like a Halo Fallout type of deal. I think they could make that work. Angry Birds, BioShock. Good story.
BioShock would be dope, bro.
Death Stranding.
I would watch that.
I think they can make a better Death Stranding movie than they can a game, personally.
Damn.
That's kind. I didn't think the game was bad. Detective Pikachu 2, Dredge. Never heard of that one. Dredge. Yeah.
Like the boating?
Yeah.
The one with the boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Caught me off guard.
Duke Nukem.
Okay. I can see that.
I can see it, but that's the same thing as Doom. Like in like the style of movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think they could. I think they could.
You know who I could see playing Duke Nukem? John Cena.
Yeah, I see it.
But he has to capture like the quirkiness of Duke.
I can see it.
Have you ever played a Duke Nukem game?
I haven't.
I never finished it, but
for my Nintendo 64.
Gears of War.
I can see that.
I could see it as more of a series than a movie, though.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima would be fire. It's basically Shogun.
Yeah.
It'd basically be Shogun.
You watch Shogun?
I was trying to watch it, but Victoria wasn't interested in it.
Oh, okay.
So then I kind of stopped watching it. But,
Shogun is good.
It Takes Two.
I can't say.
As an animated movie, yes. As a live action, no. Just saying. El Paso Everywhere. Have you heard of that game? Neither have I. Just Cause.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of it, but like,
That's like a good action movie.
yeah, that would be like your typical explosion.
Yeah.
Action pack.
A Far Cry movie, bro. They should definitely do that.
That would be cool. A Mega Man movie. That would be dope. And animated, of course, like in the same Mario Carbon style. Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, there's a lot. Pac-Man. Didn't they already do a Pac-Man?
I think it's Pixels or something like that.
I
don't know.
Portal. Saints Row.
Are these movies coming out?
Seafood.
These are movies coming out?
It says every upcoming video game movie you need to know about. This was published January 7th, 2025 from GamesRadar.com.
Wow.
So if you want to go there, check it out. Check out this list. This has the full list on here. We're not going to continue to go over because we're way past the point where we need to stop. Slime Rancher, Sifu, Stray.
These are all movies? That's
Potential
crazy.
Space Channel 5, never heard of it. Streets of Rage, The Division.
Rancher.
The Legend of Zelda, heard about that one. Tomb Raider, Uncharted 2. They're going to do a second one. Watch Dogs, Yakuza. This list is so long. Go check it out. See the full list here. Again, there's 2 versions. I'm going to have one here, one on my face, and one on Pedro's face.
Okay.
So what, that's 4? 5? and a Yakuza movie. That would be cool. I could see a Yakuza movie.
I can see that.
I could see you in my dreams.
For real?
Yeah. The main reason why I can see you in our dreams is because this is the ending of the podcast.
I'm going to sleep. That's why? Because we're going to sleep.
Yeah, we're going to sleep. And this podcast is ending. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of the Leisure Hub Podcast. It's been a minute since we've talked to you guys last. We want to be in your ears. We want to whisper in your ear and tell you something, little mama.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on the latest episode of the Leisure Hub Podcast. We have been your fancy dancy podcast pod boy hosts, Justin and
Pedro.
And we will catch you guys on the next recording. Wherever we are, wherever you are, we'll find you. Because that's just how the algorithm works. So,
does it?
Hey, finds you wherever.
The algorithm, bro. We need
algorithm bot.
We can't say that.
It'll be bleeped out. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. We'll catch you on the next one. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Be easy, but never sleazy. And remember, say cheese. Do not leave the call.